So not only are we here with Huey Lewis, we're on the bus. Butch Stearns, Brianna Pitts, Dirty Water TV at Twin River Casino. Huey, how did we get on the bus?
Well, it's awful nice of Jay Gallus to lend us their bus, isn't it?
I don't know how we got on, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, is this first time you've been on a rock and roll tour bus?
It is. This is my first one.
It's exciting for about 8 minutes. Unfortunately, most of us have been on these kind of buses for 36 years. So
Hey, Twin River Casino. This is a great place, isn't it?
it is a great place, yeah. We're about to find out, actually, but it looks great.
Huey, last time we saw you on Dirty Water TV, you were on Boylston Street, jumping into a Cadillac. You were going to the pavilion to play your album Sports.
Right.
You played it cover to cover, correct?
Yeah, we did.
What was that like?
That was really fun. I mean, it was there was a lot of interest, oddly enough, because I'm not generally a backlooker, but everybody, it really resonated with people. We played and the good news was that it's only 44 and a half minutes, so we had another hour to do other stuff.
But what is it like being back in the greater Boston area?
Oh, this is like a second home for us. We love it. My parents, my dad's people came from Boston, so I got relatives all around, and we love this place. This our kind of people.
Huey, speaking of Boston, I mean, you're a big sports fan. You're an Oakland A's guy and San Francisco 49ers and all that. But when it comes to Boston sports, I don't think people like us a lot because we've had 8 parades in the last 9 or 10 years. What do people say about Boston sports fans over there?
Yeah, you have 8 or 9 parades, but before that, there was a long period of time.
Thanks for reminding us.
You haven't had any football parades in a while either.
Well, that's true, but we were the last to have back-to-back.
Yeah, I know. No, you listen. I'm a 49er guy, so
yeah,
I have to root against the New England Patriots because they're trying to grab our mantle of the greatest, decade. So, but no, I think if you don't if you're a baseball fan, you gotta love the Boston Red Sox. Period. You have to. Yeah. You gotta love Fenway. That's a great experience. Nothing's bad. It's as good as baseball gets.
You're a human being. You have to love.
I agree. I agree, and you gotta love the Celtics. So I mean, you just gotta love them.
What is it about New Englanders? You have roots here. What is it about New England crowds that you play to? What is it about Bostonians that are different?
I mean, I kind of got some Irish in me, and a lot of them have Irish in them. But it's not just that. It's they're kind of a brash bunch, the New Englanders, as am I. And they're a frank bunch. They're not too subtle. They don't beat around the bush. You know what I mean?
You like that?
I do. They're very direct, I think.
Huey, 36 years, he's still got it. May have lost the step, but who hasn't?
And I think they're funny. Right? You can take you can make fun of yourself, which is something not everybody can do.
Hey, I'm a huge Springsteen fan. I'm a little bit of a fanatic. A little bit. I've seen him way too many times. But anyway, you played with him in Paris, in Europe. You got any Bruce stories for me?
I remember he was afraid to have the duck in Paris, though. He wanted to eat a hamburger. And I
Really?
the menu's so out, I'll tell you a Springsteen story, and this will explain it to you. When I saw him in Paris, he came to our gig, and we sat in, and afterwards we went to dinner, and we're riding on the bus going to dinner, and he says, "Where are you guys tomorrow?" And I said, "Oh, we're in Vienna, Austria." And this was, probably 20 years ago, which is maybe our first time. Vienna, Austria. I said, "Have you ever played Vienna?" I says to Bruce. He says, 6 times. I'm making that up, but it's close. I mean, there's no harder working guy than Bruce Springsteen, and he cares about his show and the audience and so on, and he sets the bar awful high for the rest of us.
As everyone knows, Huey Lewis is a Renaissance man. He's an actor. He's been on Broadway, a lot of cameos.
You
singer,
go, girl.
Songwriter, plays the harmonica.
It's
what do
amazing.
you not do?
It's amazing.
So my question is, I know you've had a lot of experience, but I think that your best acting was done in the Funny or Die video when you reenacted the American Psycho scene.
A movie's so entertaining, most people probably don't listen to the message.
Most people probably don't listen to the lyrics.
But they should, because it's not just a great character study, but a sardonic metaphor for 1980s greed and materialism. Hey, Al! Ah! Try parodying one of my songs now, you stupid bastard.
It was really a fun thing to do, and Weird Al was great. I tell you, the one thing that we have done is, you know, in the beginning, the first thing you have to do is make a living in our business. So in my day, it was a radio-driven world. You had to have a hit record, a pop record. There was no internet. There was no FM radio. There was FM radio, but it was programmed. It wasn't playing any. So you had to have a top 20 hit, or you didn't have a career. You couldn't make records. So that's, you know, we aimed the sports record, all of our records until the sports record, right at radio. Then when it was sports, suddenly we had these 5 top 10 hits and all these big hits. And since that time, we've really made sure that the choices we make are creative ones and not financial ones. So I'll do something goofy or stupid if it's creative for me. But, we haven't done Dancing with Stars or only because doesn't speak to me.
You're getting ready to do a show here at Twin River Casino. Yeah. So one more final question from each of us. Mine is this. Who would you pay to go see now? Who are your younger musical influencers? Who do you respect and admire, Huey, that's a great performer these days?
Well, it's a really good question, first of all. And second of all, it depends on what venue. Sure. For example, if I had to go see Bruce Springsteen at the, Meadowlands, you could not pay me enough money to park at Meadowlands, fight that crowd, sit hundreds of yards in back of that thing, and pretend that it sounds good. But if you could see Bruce Springsteen in a 1,000 seat club in a booth with a steak dinner and a bottle of champagne, now you're talking. So I like smaller venues where you can hear. So traditionally, my favorite bands, I like the Neville Brothers. I like Tower of Power. I like all the soul bands that play in a 1,000 seat. You go see the Neville Brothers in a 1,000 seater. It doesn't get much better than that.
You actually did an album that was devoted to all the great soul artists.
Any kind of job is hard to find. That means an increase in the welfare lines.
We did an album called Soulsville, dedicated to Memphis music. Memphis, mostly Stax, but not entirely Stax, but mostly R&B stuff from the early to mid 60s, yeah.
Very nice. Would you ever do something like that again?
Sure. It was a labor of love for us. We went to Memphis. We cut it. We rehearsed it really good with our horn section, and we cut it all live. It was the most fun we've ever had. We cut 22 songs in 2 weeks, so it was really, really fun.
So your point about the venues, you got to be looking forward to playing Twin River here. This is an intimate setting here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks kind of big, actually. There's 3,000 people in there or something. It's pretty large.
Yeah, they got tables and steaks, just like you said, so it's going to be intimate.
We'll make it intimate.
Huey, thanks for stopping by.
You bet.
We really
you bet.
appreciate it.
Thank you.